Much has been made about Harry and Meghan Markle thinking that they are A-listers. Well, how can they not? What people have failed to see is that Prince Charles is the one who basically enabled those beliefs. How? I mean, Harry is a minor royal. He was never, he's the sixth in line to the throne. And yet his wedding to Meghan Markle was more expensive than Prince William's, who's actually the heir to the throne. Meghan Markle's allowance for clothing, it was 11 times higher than that of the Duchess of Cambridge. They had more privilege than Prince William and his wife. And this is all down to Prince Charles. I really do think that Prince Charles hitched his wagon to Princess Harry's because he thought that they would be incredibly popular. At the end of the day, yes, William is his son. Prince William is his son, but is also his rival. His rival in the sense that he's fully aware that people would much rather see Prince William ascend the throne than him. Prince Charles, I mean, for me anyways, I don't see him being the head of the church. How can he? Not only was he having an affair, not only did he not intend to fulfill his vows, he's the ultimate user. I mean, he married Princess Diana because they actually thought, him and Camilla thought that they could, dominate her and get away with everything, and that she was dumb and stupid. And when she had the temerity to say, stop, that I'm not going to be part of that, I actually want a real marriage, then basically they vilified her. Anyways, this is one part of that. Unfortunately for him, Princess Diana, when in life, was much more popular than he was. And in her death, her son, Prince William, also is more popular than Prince Charles. And to make matters worse, he looks just like his mom. And he does behave like her a lot. Princess Diana wasn't naturally outgoing. She was naturally shy. She learned to overcome that because it was part of her job. And, she had to, basically. But back to Prince Charles and Harry. Harry and Meghan did buy, rightly so, the hype that they were more popular than Prince William, because I do believe that Prince Charles saw an opportunity to be together with them, because at the time, Prince Harry and his wife were incredibly popular, even more than Prince William, because, Harry, the cheeky one, the cheeky racist one, married a biracial woman. Oh yeah, Prince Charles was just booming up, he would do anything to hitch his wagon to that little, he should have done his homework though. Because Harry and Meghan are very toxic. They never intended to be part of the royal family. They intended to get as much as they could out of it. I really do think it's time that people call bullshit for what it is. Royal titles and the privileges that they get from that is because there is a deal that they are supposed to use those royal titles for the benefit of the nation and the Commonwealth, not for their own gain, which is what they're doing right now. Prince Andrew, Sarah Ferguson, we have lovely Harry and his wife doing it at a much higher scale. Now, I'm just going to draw the attention to this. That Sarah Ferguson, remember that tape? I think I published it not long ago about her selling for £500,000 her introduction to Prince Andrew and how she claimed he knew. I do believe that he knew. And I do believe that this was some sort of scheme they both had going on. Now, just keep in mind that for a newspaper reporter to set her up like that, it's because it had been going on for quite some time that people got word of it, and they decided to set her up, and that is not to catch her doing it. It wasn't something that it was a first time for her, because she clearly looked comfortable and she knew the drill. In other places, that's called traffic of influence, and that's punishable by 2 years in jail. I go back to Prince Charles and his son Harry. They're both the same. They're both entitled. They're both arrogant. I was laughing at how Prince Charles did this interview or speech about climate change, and he has a fleet of cars. He went, I think, in Europe recently. He flew privately to this summit about climate change in Europe, instead of him setting the example and taking a train. I mean, in Europe, it's actually quite beautiful. You take the Eurostar. I took it many times. And yet he goes by private plane. This is why these people have no credibility. Yes, Prince William has taken private planes when there were no planes going to a place that he's going, or it was an absolute necessity. But most of the time, he's flying private. He's flying public with his wife and children. But anyways, now we go to the court case for Meghan Markle, and this case, ongoing case. I still don't understand. Maybe I'm ignorant and stupid. I still don't understand why the judge hasn't thrown this out, because it's clear that this was published before in the United States. It wasn't that the Mail and Sunday published it first. It was published by People's Magazine. Now, I'm very surprised that neither Mail and Sunday or the Associated Press in the UK are calling People Magazine as a witness, because you see, People Magazine, they must have done the right of reply, and the right of reply means that before you publish a story, you contact the parties involved and you say, listen, we're gonna say, we're gonna publish this, and what do you have to say for yourself? And whether they will either get nothing in return, or they will get a statement. But at least it is on record that they did contact the office for that. Why aren't they asking for those records? Because I'm pretty sure that People Magazine did contact Meghan's office, or I don't think they contacted her father. I think they contacted her office, and I'm sure that they knew, and she was advised by Buckingham Palace not to do that, and she didn't like that advice. So she, in my opinion, that's what I think, she basically, when her father failed to publish the letter, that must have pissed her off. Then she enlisted her 5 friends to do so. She's not mad that the letter got published, clearly, because People Magazine published it first. But the twist that they used was in her favor. What a great daughter she was. What a nasty man Thomas Markle was. Whereas Mail and Sunday used the very same letter to portray her differently. Actually to portray her truthfully. And she didn't like that. So why isn't Associated Press calling People Magazine? I mean, People Magazine can't hide behind the fact that they can't disclose their sources, because their sources have been disclosed during the trial. Pretty soon they'll be disclosed to the public, but they are known, so they can't say, we can't say that because we can't discuss the sources because they're anonymous. That's not the case here. The sources have been identified. So why isn't anybody asking that? Because you see, Meghan Markle in her statement said that she wasn't aware that People was publishing that article. But if People Magazine contacted her office for comment, then that is a lie, and the whole case falls apart. So, I mean, this whole case shouldn't be at all. It should have been thrown away from the beginning. But again, that's just what I think anyways. And again, with Prince Charles, it bit him back in the ass, because Meghan Markle and Harry had never an intention, and this is why they've been able to get away with so much. This is why they expected so much, because I am pretty sure that Harry and his father Charles made a deal. You see them so chummy everywhere, and there were these leak reports that Meghan Markle had brought them closer and everything. I'm so glad that she said, and if it's true that she said during the garden party that she was bored and she left. I'm so glad, because it's disgusting. They're all disgusting. Prince Charles using them because he wants you see, the division between Harry and William, it's better for him, it's good for him, because he comes across as the man who's saving his 2 kids. He's not. He hasn't done anything. Look at his actions. He hasn't done anything at all to promote unity. I honestly don't think that he should be the next one. I think that the people, when Parliament finally decides to go after the titles correction, because a law has to be introduced, rules have to be introduced about monitoring these royals with their misusage of title. Title should only be used when it's serving the crown, not for personal gain. So I think it's time to put a stop to that. And you know what? It might not be a bad idea if the public gotta say it should be included in those rules, that the public has a right to decide who within the royal family we want to represent us. In this case, I would think that the majority would go for Prince William. Secondly, I think a lot of people would go for Prince Edward and his wife, the Countess of Wessex. But those are just my views. Have a good day.